infinity. Something that inspires us to ask the most important questions, like, which is the best song on folklore? And why is it 7? And are we alone? No, but seriously, like my roommates aren't home, and I'm hearing voices. Who's there? I regret nothing! I regret nothing! We all know the stories about aliens and how they abduct people. But do you believe?
Do you believe in the existence of extraterrestrials?
People told me that my mom got abducted and turned me into a half-breed alien, and I was told that story my whole life, so I've always been into aliens.
I saw an alien twice in my house. I feel as though my experiences with these visitors enhance my psychic abilities. You have a bizarre sense of humor. You're highly emotional.
Look out, we have the cancer. So let's take a look at the conspiracy theory. One of the first sightings of a UFO happened in 1492 when Columbus sailed the ocean blue, and all the female staff on board said, "Me too." While he wasn't busy raping and pillaging indigenous cultures, Columbus was writing in his life journal and being a little bitch one night and feathered a dear diary. It said a strange light was moving in the sky, above, up and down, and all across town. 1975. A string of the nation's super-sensitive nuclear missile launch sites and bomber bases were visited by an unidentified low-flying and elusive object. At the time of the UFO sighting, the nuclear missiles had been disabled, and some indications had shown the launch codes had been messed with. The Washington Post confirmed these reports and concluded a story. They got the documents, they interviewed many witnesses, and it begged the question, could it have been Russia? The US military concluded in its own investigation it could not have been Russia. The technology was too advanced. Fast forward 1978, Russian intelligence investigates its own UFO sightings after an event at an ICB base in Ukraine. An unidentified flying object had flown over the base, splitting into pieces and creating a dazzling display for several hours. It entered the launch code missiles, the missiles activated and begun to launch. Suddenly, without warning, the UFO disappears and the missiles shut down. And it begged the question, could it have been the stupid fucking Americans? They concluded it was not. So, here's where it gets interesting, everyone. Bob Lazar, a former worker at S4 near Area 51, where pre-COVID, Ja Rule and Fire Festival tried their best to get us to see them aliens, comes out and says he was hired to reverse engineer an anti-gravity propulsion system. He claims that he worked for the government in the 80s to reverse engineer alleged alien aircraft. He has since been vindicated on many of his claims over the last 30 years. In fact, many of these Navy fighter pilots who recorded these UFO videos released by the Pentagon have described the exact movements of these alien aircrafts that Bob Lazar has described. Is it possible that ever since humans first did a radio broadcast, dropped a nuclear bomb on my beloved Japan, that a foreign intelligent civilization in a galaxy far, far away picked up on our technological advances? Is it possible they have the technology to bend space-time and create gravity in drone-like crafts, just like Albert Einstein said was possible? To watch us and record us? Is it possible that our government has possession of several of these aircrafts and is trying to reverse engineer them? And if we are being watched ever since the ancient times, is it possible there is video of major human life events, such as the construction of the Great Pyramids, the American Revolution, the sinking of the Titanic, and the Popeye's spicy chicken sandwich? We may never know. And that's why this is just a conspiracy theory.
I feel so funny these